Coming up on the February edition of Rood Crew Radio, Scott Laird and David Robinson will be in to discuss Passover 2019 and all the things going on there with Passover. And also, Michael will be here with us with his guest, Ryan Marrow, and they'll be talking about the real Mount Sinai. All this and so much more on the February edition of Rood Crew Radio.
From the Production Group Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina, you're listening to the Rood Crew Radio program on the Rood Radio Network.
And welcome to the February edition of Rood Crew Radio. I'm your host, Ted Clayton, and I'm so glad to have with me Scott Laird, the Doctor of Naturopath, and David Robinson, our coordinator and supervisor for ministry development here at A Rood Awakening. Guys, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Ted.
It's great being here.
All right, so we got so much stuff coming up in the month of February to talk about. The upcoming Passover event that's taking place in March. I believe it's March 22nd. Is that right, Scott?
March 22nd to 24th at the Crown Plaza in Charlotte, which is just a hop and a skip away from Rood Crew headquarters.
That's right. Just about 2 exits down the road. And we want everybody to come this year. This is going to be a super duper duper event. And Scott, tell us what's going to be happening this year at Passover.
Well, we have a late edition that maybe you've seen by now, and it's a very exciting thing. Tim Mahoney, who created the Patterns of Evidence, the Exodus documentary, has come out with a sequel. And after the initial showing in theaters, which is March 14, 16, and 19, which we encourage you to go see at a theater near you.
Yes.
We invite you to see the second private showing that no one else is getting. Tim made special arrangements for us to see this at Passover. So we're going to get a special screening of the new documentary called The Moses Controversy.
Wow, and I understand that that all stems around the fact that scholars say in the Bible that Moses couldn't have written the Torah because there was no real formal written language at the time. But by watching this documentary, we see that that is totally not true.
That's true, and you don't have to be a scholar to see it or to realize what's happening there, because, Ted, you and I have seen the a rough cut of it, and I think we would both agree that it's easy to follow, you'll understand, and you will definitely agree with him in the end that what is being argued is not the case.
I agree, and you know it really keeps your attention the whole time too. You know, sometimes in documentaries, how about halfway through the documentary you go, oh my gosh, what am I doing listening here and seeing this thing? Not with the Tim Mahoney documentary. It is fantastic. It keeps your attention the whole time, and you can't wait to see the end or the patterns of evidence.
Indeed. And in addition to that, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg with Passover. Our main guest this year is Nehemiah Gordon, and he has some very interesting information about the split rock at Rephidim, where the water was provided to the Israelites after Moses struck the rock. There's a connection there between that and the pool of Siloam, where Yeshua asked the man who he put mud on his eyes to clear up his blindness.
Yes.
Where he asked that man to clean his eyes and go show the Pharisees. There's a connection there, a spiritual connection that Nehemiah has recognized, and it's quite a deep connection because he's going to be giving us the explanation of that all day Saturday at Passover.
And you know, not to even take away from that, but you two guys as well are going to have your own lectures, as it were, for the Passover event. So, David, tell me about what you're going to be talking about.
Well, as you know, I'm the director over the V Fellowships, and we've been going through this restructuring of our fellowships, and I'm really excited to share what I believe I would say there's a revival going through the land, as not only are we coming back to his Torah, but he's actually the church, the establishment of the church. We are actually going back to, or a lot of people are wanting to return to the first century model of the church. And as we're learning more and more about this, and as God is moving in the hearts of men and women, we're seeing that the whole structure of hierarchy was never intended by God.
Wow.
That we were supposed to come together using our gifts. There's pastors, teachers, but all of us to come together and to lead as elders, as a group, to lead the fellowships. And then the concern's not about money.
Yes.
It's not about hierarchy and power, but it's about helping the people and nurturing the gifts of the people. So we, as the V Fellowships, want to continue that, this revival, if you will,
yes.
with God's people.
Absolutely.
And establish home fellowships where there's not a hierarchy, but there's people learning and growing in His Word and in helping each other.
And folks, I'm telling you, David is going to be giving that lecture on 11 o'clock on Friday morning. You are not going to want to miss it. Come early, see all of the speakers. It's going to be incredible. Scott, you're going to have a special lecture as well on Saturday morning. Tell us about yours.
That's right. You know, a lot of people, when they get an illness like diabetes, heart disease, cancer, that type of thing, as believers, we want to declare that we are healed.
Yes.
And so, you know, I'm diabetes free. I'm cancer free. And I'm saying if you're free, prove it. And that comes from a song by the band called Crowder, from David Crowder.
That's right.
And we are actually going to prove that you can be diabetes-free, cancer-free by simply doing some simple things at home. We're going to give some basics on the stage and then come down to the crowd and individually help people break free of their diseases at home. And we're going to get some other people to keep them accountable and check up on them. And it's going to be a great time of healing oneself without having to rely on maybe what you think you have to get healed.
Okay, Scott, just really quick, because I know we're running close on time. How do I go and get my tickets for Passover 2019?
Real simple. Call us at 800-788-7887.
I'm sorry, that's 888-7887. Oh, no, you're going the other way. I know the other phone
We have
number.
two numbers, but this one's the one for Passover.
right.
That's right. Yeah,
that's
so it's
right.
800. So 800-788-7887. Real
That's it.
simple.
That's
or you can
it.
go to PassoverCharlotte.com. All the details are there.
Perfect. Now, this is February, and because it's February, we have a new love gift. So tell us about the love gift, Scott.
I'm holding it in my hand. In addition to Michael's teaching, which we'll get to in a second, you can get two beautiful cups with for the Kiddush, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And they are, as you can hear, they're metal. That's why I brought them in studio to prove that they're silver plated, in fact. And so you get this beautiful set for a gift of $100 or more.
Good.
To celebrate the Kiddush with your friends and family. And in addition to that, you'll also get Michael's new teaching, Stand, and it basically means standing up for your faith in the face of the Pharisees in your life. Those people who say you're doing it wrong. You can say, no, I'm doing it right. Here's the proof. Yeshua said it.
Absolutely outstanding. Guys, thank you so much for being with me today. Folks, I tell you, you're not going to want to go anywhere. Michael's going to be here in just a moment, and he's going to be talking to Ryan Marrow. And I am here to tell you it is going to be an earth-shaking interview. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Rood Crew Radio on the Rood Radio Network.
Join Michael Rood and special guest Nehemiah Gordon for Passover 2019, The Waters of Salvation. Hear for yourself the exciting new information that connects the split rock of the Exodus with Yeshua's miracle at the Pool of Siloam and what it means for end-time events. Passover 2019 also includes biblical health and home fellowship seminars, a full youth program with Brian Serrano, children's ministry with Kim Serrano, worship with Brandon and Melody, and more. Plus, an exclusive private screening of the all-new documentary by Tim Mahoney, Patterns of Evidence, The Moses Controversy. Only 400 tickets are available for Passover 2019, March 22nd to 24th, with Michael Rood and Nehemiah Gordon at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tickets are disappearing fast. Act now. Call the number on your screen or visit PassoverCharlotte.com.
Welcome back to the February edition of Rood Crew Radio. I'm your host, Ted Clayton, and right now we have with us Michael Rood. Michael, you have a very special guest for the month of February.
I am so excited about having Ryan Marrow. He is a national security analyst for the Clarion Project. He is a contributor on Fox News regular. I have, the last couple of days, I have literally listened to dozens of his interviews on national television, and it is a very exciting guest. He has so much to unpack for us with national security, what's going on in America right now. Ryan Marrow is with the Clarion Project. Ryan, it's good to have you with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, Ryan, can we start out? Can you give us a little bit of background what the Clarion Project is about?
Sure. So Clarion Project is a nonprofit educational organization that originally was focused on filmmaking in regards to the threat posed by radical Islam, making videos that went viral like Secession, the Third Jihad, Iranium, Honor Diaries, which was about the abuse of women in Muslim-majority societies, and Faith Keepers, which was about the persecution of Christians and other minorities in the Muslim world. And so they are continuing to do that, but what I was brought in to do was media engagement as a subject matter expert in the ideology of radical Islam and to write articles about it. And now I have my own section of Clarion Project called the Clarion Intelligence Network. And basically we are a team of civilians that work with retired law enforcement to try to fill the gaps due to the restrictions that law enforcement on the federal, state, and local level face when doing counterterrorism investigations, because civilians can actually do a lot of things that even law enforcement can't do because of various restrictions.
Now, you've actually been a professor of counterterrorism, and your degree on that comes from a very unusual source, your diploma, so to speak.
Right. So I went to American Military University and got some degrees from there. But the most fascinating degree I got is from a jihadi online school where they were basically giving out these Islamic studies certificates to people so that they could be credentialed and then win arguments. Say, oh, I'm a prominent person because I have this Islamic studies certificate and this is done a lot in prisons. And it was a way of promoting the real radical jihadist ideology. And I said, well, I'd like one of those. And I tried to enroll thinking like I'd get blocked, but they just accept everyone in this system. And so I got in, and so I learned it from the bad guys.
Any aspiring jihadist, any aspiring terrorist can actually go to their online school then.
Right, even if you're in prison. I mean, they actually market it to people in prison. One of the things we found out we're going to be coming out with, I forgot to mention, is the fact that we are finding that a large percentage of the textbooks related to Islam in the prison system are like preaching terrorism. Like they come from known terror-connected preachers, and then their books end up in the prison system.
My goodness. Yeah. We worked so hard and long with TBN, with the Church Channel, of getting into the prisons with our materials, and then to see that there's basically an open door for jihadists, for terrorists to recruit and to train people in our prison system in America. Is this something that is commonly known?
No, but it needs to be, and hopefully it soon will be, because we're going to be coming out with the list of pro-terrorism textbooks that are available in the prison libraries for inmates. But that's just one example of the different vulnerabilities we're seeing in the counterterrorism apparatus, whether you're talking about counterterrorism training guidelines or who the advisors are that Homeland Security relies upon. We keep finding these individuals with radical pasts getting better access than even Muslims that oppose that type of jihadist ideology. So the bad guys that are so well funded and have an actual network to propel themselves forward are the ones that are advising politicians, advising the FBI and Homeland Security, and choosing which books go into prison libraries.
That's amazing. Clarion Project is really going the opposite way as far as training not only the local sheriff's departments and military operations to what's going on, but you were actually instrumental in that takedown of that compound in New Mexico.
Right. So I got involved in that after the raid happened, and that was because of a lack of information sharing between the FBI and then local police. And the big story there is that the FBI was waiting so long to go after this terrorist training compound in New Mexico near the Colorado border that the local authorities said, all right, we're going to do it ourselves. I imagine your local police department saying, I'm going to go attack a terrorist training camp. I mean, that's a level of bravery I cannot fathom. And so we got involved after that and helped provide them with a lot of critical information in that investigation moving forward.
So the FBI was not involved in that first? It was up to local officials, local law enforcement, instead of the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Correct. In fact, the FBI tried to get the neighbor to the compound to put on a wire and talk to his neighbors in the terrorist training compounds to try to get pictures of a missing child that was there. And the neighbor, I believe, was like, you want me to do what? So you end up having local police doing the job of the FBI, and then they made a Facebook announcement about it and said, hey, just so you know, here's why we had to do it on our own. It was a remarkable example, but that shows why Clarion Intelligence Network is needed. Civilians can do a lot to help, even in situations like that. And so we have undercover operatives, we have sources of information that assist in those type of situations.
And so your background research, you understood where this compound, where these people came from, who their leader, their spiritual leader, or whatever. You knew the background of this then.
Right, and I knew what strategies are often used and what trails to follow, and so I was able to show probably how they were getting guns, the fronts that they were using in different states. We have a massive database and advanced intelligence software that enable us to do this, and even police departments oftentimes don't have those technological capabilities that we have.
Well, I hate to do this, Ryan, but the phrase I hear most from the news media where you're being interviewed is, we just got a few seconds left, and they give you just a few seconds to speak. But you're going to be on Shabbat Night Live. We are going to take this hour by hour, and actually, you're going to take us to Mount Sinai. And let's touch on that a little bit when we come back, Ted.
That's right. We'll come back in just a moment. Folks, you don't want to miss a second of this interview with Ryan Marrow. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Rood Crew Radio on the Rood Radio Network.
What began as Michael Rood's 40-year labor of love has become an international phenomenon. The Chronological Gospels Bible, the remarkably accurate and astonishing truth that the Messiah's ministry was just 70 weeks. This eye-opening and life-changing Bible is now being translated by volunteers into Spanish, Russian, French, and Mandarin Chinese. However, printing this Bible is not free, but you can help. Your donation of $1,000 or more will be used to print the Chronological Gospels Bible in these languages.
As a special thank you gift for your generosity, I am going to send you a rare collector's item, an original hardcover version of the Chronological Gospels, complete with a handwritten, personalized message to you from me.
Own this rare piece of history and help secure the future of the Chronological Gospels Bible. Make your donation now. Call 888-766-3610. Join Michael Rood and special guest Nehemiah Gordon for Passover 2019, The Waters of Salvation. Hear for yourself the exciting new information that connects the split rock of the Exodus with Yeshua's miracle at the Pool of Siloam, and what it means for end-time events. Passover 2019 also includes biblical health and home fellowship seminars, a full youth program with Brian Serrano, children's ministry with Kim Serrano, worship with Brandon and Melody, and more. Plus, an exclusive private screening of the all-new documentary by Tim Mahoney, Patterns of Evidence, The Moses Controversy. Only 400 tickets are available for Passover 2019, March 22nd to 24th, with Michael Rood and Nehemiah Gordon at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tickets are disappearing fast. Act now. Call the number on your screen or visit PassoverCharlotte.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the third segment of the February edition of Rood Crew Radio. I'm your host, Ted Clayton. And when we left off just a moment ago, Michael, you were talking to Ryan Marrow about terrorism, but now I think you want to go perhaps in a different area.
Oh, I'll tell you, this is where Ryan and I got together on this thing. Ryan just got back from Mount Sinai in Arabia. He has come back with 4K ultra high definition drone footage of the mountain surrounding area, and he has put together I won't call it a YouTube video. This is a motion picture. This is so stirring. I get chills even thinking about describing this thing. Ryan, what took you to Mount Sinai? Because we're going to go there in Shabbat Night Live. We're going to show the actual movie and all, but we've got to hear a little bit about this right now. I can't wait.
This is the biggest miracle miracle of my life, and it's not one that I tried to make happen. And in fact, in some ways, I tried to resist it. So I can't believe I'm even talking about the fact that I went to Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia, got the video footage that for so long I felt was necessary for even me to believe this stuff. And now hopefully we're going to make your audience feel as if they've been there with me. So basically, I've gone there 3 times, and I've been interested in this theory since I was probably 13, 14, and didn't fully believe it because the pictures in the video were old, and so it came off like one of those fake news videos you would see, or a chain letter in your email back in those days. And it wouldn't leave my mind. I don't know how to explain it after I had already studied it and kind of moved on. And now looking back, I understand it was God keeping my focus on it for reasons I didn't understand. And an opportunity came to me out of nowhere to go. And I just can't describe the feeling when that came. And initially I resisted it because it's so dangerous to go. I had heard the stories. I know what Saudi Arabia is like from the field of study I work in. Right. But I knew I was going to go and going to be okay, and that's not my personality.
Well, most people who've gone in there have ended up face down in a ditch with a gun barrel in the back of their head, with a Bedouin yelling at them in broken English that they're going to kill them. And you decided to go over there, and your background in terrorism, counterterrorism, as a professor of counterterrorism, and so you knew what you were walking into.
And it was somewhat worse for me to do it because I'm somewhat of a public figure. I've known to be pro-Israel in my activism, so there's more legitimacy to killing me than a random American.
Right. I have seen at least 24 of your videos, interviews on Fox News. You're an international personality, and for you to go in here, I was shocked.
And I've done a lot of research uncovering Saudi sponsorship of terrorism and extremism in the United States. So there were a lot of there was a big reason to believe that this could go wrong. And things did go wrong, but I was fine. I mean, Saudi police did come to our hotel. On numerous occasions, we encountered Saudi police and were turned away from places. But it somehow all worked out when it shouldn't have. I mean, it's a mathematical impossibility in my mind that we got there safely and came back. And what I saw was just absolutely stunning.
Tell us, just briefly, what did you see? Give us a preview of where we're going to go with this.
Sure. So we went to the land of Jethro, where there's a well where they say Moses met Jethro's daughters. And so we went from there to the match for Elam with the 12 wells and 70 palms. The palm trees have since populated and grown, but the 12 wells are still there, exactly 12. Mm-hmm. And went to the plain where the Israelites camped, right in front of Mount Sinai, the golden calf worship site, the altar that Moses probably built of uncut stone at the foot of the mountain next to the remains of the 12 pillars representing the tribe of Israel. And of course, the split rock, which even in this really high-def footage is amazing to look at. But I've got to tell you, when you're there, even this video doesn't do it justice. Yeah,
and you're actually going to take us there. You're going to fly over the split rock with a drone. 4K, right. Ultra high definition. When I saw this, it's like, okay, I have been there. I don't need to go. Ryan, you took me there. And, this is my dream from when I was 16 and I saw Cecil B. DeMille's version of the Ten Commandments. It's like, I need to go to Mount Sinai and know that God will speak to me. And it's like, I was there with your video. I saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're going to get to see. Ryan is going to take us to Mount Sinai, and it's a half hour of film that you've done on this.
Right, explaining the different places that we're going to and some of the dynamics, and most of all, having a call to action at the end. So we set up SinaiInArabia.com as a website for that information and a place where people can go because we want to engage the Saudis on an official level and tell them, look, keep preserving the site because thanks to you, it's all saved. It hasn't been ruined.
Well, tell us just a little bit about that, Ryan. We've just got a little bit of time left, but I think that's very important. We are so thankful to the Saudis for what they have done.
Right. And with what we were doing, they could have put me in more harm's way. But I talked to a source of mine who used to be in the jihadist world at a high level, and he already knew that Mount Sinai was in Saudi Arabia and it was covered up. And he explained to me that according to theocratic Sharia law, they were doing what they had to do to preserve the site and prevent it from becoming a site of idolatry. If it becomes a site of idolatry where people are selling things from there and saying it'll heal your diseases, then they have to destroy the evidence there as much as possible and forbid anyone from going. So ironically, it was Saudi Sharia law that preserved all of it. And now when you go there, you feel like you're seeing the Exodus happen right in front of you.
Oh, that is incredible, because just what the Roman Church did with Helena Sinai, the false site over in the Egyptian peninsula, they have been prohibited from doing that because of the Muslims forbidding it, and at the barrel of a gun, keeping this from turning into an idolatrous site, as the whole Christian world is wont to do.
You know, Ryan, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you for a speaking engagement or to get in touch with your organization, how would they get in touch with you?
Sure. Thank you. It would be, you can go through the Clarion Project, or you could just go to SinaiInArabia.com and contact me through there.
That's outstanding. Michael, thank you again for being with us, again for this wonderful interview. Folks, you have got to see this 30-minute video. It's going to be on Shabbat Night Live. And also, it's just absolutely incredible. Ryan was with us for past in our Hanukkah event and showed the video as well there, and it was just amazing. Folks, you're going to want to see this video, so stay tuned to Shabbat Night Live, and you'll be able to see this video that Michael was talking so impassionately about. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Rood Crew Radio on the Rood Radio Network.
Spreading the message of Yeshua was not easy in the Apostles' day, and it's still not easy today. In these tumultuous times, we are all called to stand, as Paul says in Ephesians 6:13. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand.
We don't see the signs, miracles, and wonders that they saw in the first century because nobody is teaching what Yeshua taught. Nobody is tapping into that power and taking on the responsibility as a royal priesthood.
Stand is a walk through Paul's early ministry, and it highlights the struggles that come with throwing off your old life and living for Yeshua.
When Jews, when Israelites, when they do not do what they have been called to do, and they were the ones that were chosen by God, the chosen people, to be the ones to reconcile the world to God. They were to be chosen and called to be priests and kings.
Stand is an exclusive teaching available only in February. It's a gift from Michael Rood to you for your love gift donation of just $50. Or with a love gift donation of $100 or more, we'll send you Stand plus a silver-plated cup and saucer set to celebrate Yeshua's sacrifice and resurrection.
I want to see some medals, some commendations on you when you get out of the battle. You're going into it and you're being sent into it, and I know that you're going to be able to handle this thing.
Get Stand plus a silver-plated cup and saucer set. Call 800-788-7887. That's 800-788-7887 to make your love gift donation now and receive the Stand collection. Or visit our website at monthlylovegift.com. Hurry, offer ends February 28th. Join Michael Rood and special guest Nehemiah Gordon for Passover 2019, The Waters of Salvation. Hear for yourself the exciting new information that connects the split rock of the Exodus with Yeshua's miracle at the Pool of Siloam and what it means for end-time events. Passover 2019 also includes biblical health and home fellowship seminars, a full youth program with Brian Serrano, children's ministry with Kim Serrano, worship with Brandon and Melody, and more. Plus, an exclusive private screening of the all-new documentary by Tim Mahoney, Patterns of Evidence, The Moses Controversy. Only 400 tickets are available for Passover 2019, March 22nd to 24th, with Michael Rood and Nehemiah Gordon at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tickets are disappearing fast. Act now. Call the number on your screen or visit PassoverCharlotte.com.
Welcome back to the February edition of Rood Crew Radio. I'm your host, Ted Clayton. Folks, if you would like to know more information about a Rood Awakening International, please just give us a call. Our number is 888-766-3610. That number again is 888-766-3610. Or you can write us at a Rood Awakening, P.O. Box 1559, Fort Mill, South Carolina, 29716. From all of us here at the Rood Crew and our producer, Kenneth Collins, we wish you peace for the month of February. And we'll see you when the smoke clears.